On June 28th, Iran launched an unprecedented attack, directly targeting residential areas in Bat Yam, a satellite city right next to Tel Aviv, often called the civilian heart of central Israel. A barrage of long-range missiles struck simultaneously, with trajectories clearly aimed at densely populated residential areas. In less than a few hours, the precisely guided projectiles had leveled more than 126 hectares of housing, over 120,000 cubic meters of buildings. The ground shook and once bustling neighborhoods turned into desolate ruins. This shocking information was directly confirmed by the mayor of Bat Yam, Mr. Swig Brad, during a special televised interview with national broadcaster Ken 11. With a stunned expression, he said, "This is an unprecedented disaster. The level of destruction goes far beyond any scenario we've ever prepared for. In the entire history of this city, Bat Yam has never faced anything this devastating." Beyond material damage, all residents in the affected areas have fallen into a state of disorientation, unsure of where to go or what to do next. The emergency resettlement plan launched by the Israeli government is now overwhelmed, as the number of people needing shelter far exceeds the capacity of available facilities. Mayor Brad concluded with a grim warning. Nowhere in Israel was hit as hard as Bat Yam in this attack, and I fear this won't be the last. By the end of June 28th, the total damage Israel had suffered, according to preliminary estimates from the Ministry of Finance and the National Tax Authority, had exceeded 10 billion shekels, equivalent to around $3 billion US. This massive figure includes emergency spending to repair destroyed infrastructure, compensation for businesses brought to a complete standstill, and urgent support for thousands of residents who lost their homes. A leaked internal report from the IDF, Israel Defense Forces, revealed, in less than 24 hours, over 480 suicide drones and long-range missiles from Iran breached multiple layers of airspace, and a significant number struck strategic areas in the heart of Tel Aviv, Bat Yam, and Rishon LeZion. Military analysts warn that this is not merely a tactical failure, but a sign that Iran has perfected a long-range asymmetric strike system capable of penetrating even the most advanced Western defenses. Sirens blared, and all of Tel Aviv seemed to hold its breath. At around 5 a.m. on June 28th, the high-pitched wail of air raid alarms echoed across the city, signaling a missile storm was incoming. Within seconds, panicked residents rushed into bomb shelters, many still in their pajamas, clutching their children, eyes wide with fear. Thunderous explosions echoed not only in the south, but right in the heart of the city, a place once believed to be completely safe. High-rise buildings shook violently. Power outages swept through multiple areas, communication lines were cut, and the transportation network collapsed almost instantly. A senior Israeli military official, unnamed but confirmed to be part of the Air Defense Command, was forced to admit to the press, "Our defense systems are being pushed to the limit, and in some cases, failing. Not because we weren't prepared, but because the scale of the attack goes far beyond anything our simulations ever anticipated." This rare admission reveals a harsh reality. Israel, a nation long proud of having the world's leading air defense system, is now facing a new generation of Iranian weapons, designed to paralyze multiple layers of defense simultaneously from several directions. With the large-scale attack on June 28th, Iran targeted not just infrastructure, but the very psyche of the Israeli people. These missiles didn't only destroy homes, schools, and hospitals. They planted a deep sense of fear into every corner of society. In a special press briefing, Israeli officials were forced to admit, panic, fear, and a deep sense of vulnerability are spreading across society, especially in the settlements that have been completely devastated. Special reports on Israeli television went even further, drawing comparisons between the current mindset of Tel Aviv residents and the long-standing fear that the people of Gaza have endured for years. A leading newspaper wrote, "People in Tel Aviv now understand, even if just a fraction, the helplessness of being attacked at any moment, without knowing or why." But perhaps the most bitter truth comes when we look at the real nature of this war. Iran's nuclear program, the primary target of Western sanctions and military strikes, remains completely intact. Not a single facility damaged. Not a single reactor destroyed. That stark reality leads to a troubling conclusion. Iran is no longer just defending itself. It is showing the world its ability to strike back. A counterattack deep enough, precise enough, and shocking enough to stun its adversaries, both militarily and psychologically. In the most chaotic hours, Prime Minister Netanyahu appeared on national television, urging the people to stay strong and believe in the strength of the Israeli nation. He called it a moment of national unity, a spiritual symbol that this country has clung to many times before in previous wars. But this time, that declaration echoed through shattered streets, amid the sound of crumbling concrete and the weary eyes of thousands who had lost their homes and their loved ones. It was no longer a symbol of belief, but an empty slogan. Because unity cannot replace security, and promises cannot silence the fear that creeps through every alley, every bomb shelter. Perhaps a ceasefire will be signed, a temporary bandage to stop the bleeding. But the psychological scars left by this attack on the people of Israel, especially in Bat Yam and Tel Aviv, will not fade easily. Because modern warfare doesn't just destroy buildings. It carves into the human mind a lasting sense of vulnerability, loss of control, and betrayal by the very things they once believed in.